Good afternoon. Here we are live from this beautiful sanctuary of First Presbyterian Church of Gastonia. Thanks for tuning in. We're sitting in the choir loft, or what would normally in a church be the balcony. And here we see behind us the pulpit. And the pulpit where Cindy, Lauren, and I are where we are every Sunday morning. And we look up here. We see the organ. We see the beautiful choir. This is where live stream takes place every Sunday morning at 11, live stream. And the sound equipment is over to my left. And the view is far different from the pulpit looking up here. And today we are here looking down at the pulpit. And the view from this place, I see what the choir members and what the organist and the other folks are seeing that we do. And as we see what they're doing, so the views change. And we live in that world today where a lot has changed, hasn't it? In the last 4 to 6 weeks, we would never have imagined that we'd be in this new normal space. Never would we have imagined preaching at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning to an empty space, this beautiful empty space. But you can pick us up on live stream at www.fpcgastonia.org, live stream, and please do that. And we'd love to see you. And thinking about how our views change and how our view of the world has changed and how our lifestyles have changed, I was reminded of a wonderful book that was written by Dr. James Moore. Now, Dr. Moore, a Methodist minister, and yes, us Presbyterian ministers read what Methodist ministers write frequently. But he says, when trouble comes, when disappointment breaks your heart, when sorrow grips your spirit, we have a choice. You can get bitter or better. We have that choice. We can get bitter or we can get better. Dr. James Moore writes, he said, all of us at one time or another experience change, face sorrow and grief. How do we face these challenges? He said the question is, how do we respond to those challenges? We can get bitter or we can get better. We can be hateful and resentful. We can be angry. We don't like the positions that we're in. We don't like where we are. So do we get bitter? Or do we do the things that inspire us and our families? Do we spend more time with our families, quality time? Do we spend more time in our private devotions? What do we do? What do we do? The choice is ours. We can get bitter, or can we get better? During this Lenten season, we're moving on to when Jesus was crucified and the day of resurrection. And what a beautiful time of the year that is. In his book, Dr. Moore reminds us, when you face troubles in the world, Jesus' disciples faced those troubles. And Jesus knew that his disciples would be faced without his physical presence. And so Christ in John 16 gathers his disciples together, and he asked them, he said, do you now believe? The hour is coming when you will be scattered, every person to his or her home. We're scattered, aren't we? To each other's homes, to our homes. And Jesus said, and you will leave me alone. Yet I am not alone, for the Father is with me. I have said this to you, that in me you may have peace. Jesus said, in the world you will have trials and tribulations, but you can be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. Jesus said we will have trials and tribulations in our world, but we can be of good cheer, for he has overcome the world. We can get bitter, or we can choose to be better, and using this time to get better. A wonderful prayer that we often use, the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. That's our prayer for today. God, grant us all the serenity to accept those things that we cannot change. Wisdom to change the things we can. Wisdom to know the difference. Courage to change the things we can. But the important thing, God grant us all the serenity to accept those things we cannot change. Thus, we have that choice. We can get bitter or better during these changing times. May God be with you and bless you really great with wonderful peace. God bless you. Bye now.